Alright, we back. It's your boy Clips the General. Welcome to another Reacts video. Today we got another video from 8 at the Table, and they're discussing who started the gender war, men or women. So we're gonna get into this video and see what's up. Before we get into that though, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good shit. You already know what time it is. Let's get into it.
So we're talking about men and women gender wars, who started it or how did it start, and the solutions for it. So I'm gonna just alley-oop this to Erin and let her segue this off, because that's my good colleague.
Honestly, I don't know how it started, but my assumption is that so don't come in the comments talking no bullshit. My assumption is that it came from the power dynamic between men and women after women started to gain equal rights and opportunities. And I think that while women have been getting equal rights or striving for equal rights and opportunities, the resistance has generally, I would think, has come from men who are the ones who would have to pivot and change. And there's resistance to changing against something that's been a certain way forever. So I'm assuming that's what it is. I really don't know.
Nah, I got some shit for y'all, but go ahead, Smooth.
I was about to say, do y'all know how?
I can understand her point. I can understand her point. I don't think I necessarily agree 100%, but I want to see where this is going. I want to see where this is going before I kind of give my insight. But I see her point. I see her point.
Stuff started to begin with, like how women rights and women voting and all this stuff started. It really was just because the government couldn't tax half the population. So you got 50% of the population is women, and they all sitting at home taking care of the kids. If they go to work, now we can get money from the father and the mother.
But the women weren't initially in the workforce. So the tax.
They were.
No, they weren't. Black women were in the workforce, but non-Black women were not. And what it was that when the men were off to war, you still needed somebody to support the family. And so that's what drove women into work. And then when the men came home, they was like, shit, I got a little money, I got a little freedom. I wanna keep doing this.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying, and this ties into what you're saying, the government pushed that.
Because they saw benefit.
Exactly.
So, okay, I did some...
With them. It was about separating the household. If you get the man to work, the woman to work, and then the kids go to the schools, and the schools get educated by people that they put in place with the system that they put in place. It was a whole lot to it. But
well, initially the women's movement was really about the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Let's not confuse that. That was really how it started. And then you shifted to the need for equality, for education and schooling and everything else. But initially it was about women wanting to vote because women wanted the right to own their own property, having a sense of their own self. Because prior, women and the children you had in that family were deemed the man's property. So if the man decided to divorce the woman, she would be left with nothing. Even if he inherited everything from her, not only can he take everything that was hers, he could take the children, and she had no rights to that.
Okay, my opinion, that's not an opinion because it's a theory, because it's supplied by facts. First and foremost, and I love the fact that like in my household, we be having conversations about this. So
Really?
yeah, so because like my girl be talking about some stuff, I'd be like, yo, bro, you don't make no sense. So let's do so we do the research together. And I tell you the backstory. It started off about men providing. So when we actually did some research and we Googled the first considerable women's movement, it was started by married women in the late 1800s. And it was basically about the
Women's Property Act,
about the ability to own, whatever property that she was married into, right? Her name should be on whatever land, house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the start of it. That was the very first time women decided to say, hey, listen, if we're married to you, we deserve to own some type of, or have some type of ownership for whatever we have been married into. And I know we've all, and I'm not gonna play.
Okay, my brain is kind of going right now. So that would, in essence, the entitlement started way before we was even thought of. This shit is like passed down, if you really think about it. And what, like, I don't understand that. I really don't understand that way of thinking, right? Something that you did not work for, something that you put nothing into, you feel you should be entitled to something just because you're there. I don't get that. Now, me personally, if I'm married, my lady, whatever's mine is hers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever hers is mine. Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that guy that's gonna be like, oh, what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. Yeah, fuck no, I'm not. We ain't doing that. But in essence, it sounds like the entitlement shit was way before we was even thought of. Never knew that. It's pretty interesting.
Here, I hope none of us are. We all know men who have bought houses, gotten divorced, left the house with the woman, or she won the house, and the kids. So now we done seen a whole 360 or 180 flip from the men retaining rights of the children in 1993. That was
no.
19. What was it?
In 1800.
1800s.
The late 1800s.
So in 1800s, men have already lost ownership of the kids, automatically granted to the woman.
It's not automatic.
Damn near, like damn near. But then, so we lost that, or I don't want to say lost that. We gave.
Like, stop it. Look, you got me all fumbling and shit. Stop it, man. Stop it. Talking about some not always. Show me not always, man. Damn near 99% of divorces, the women take the kids. Like, stop. Even if the man is willing and able and financially stable, all that, she gotta damn near be on crack for you to get custody of them kids. Even without divorce. You take a woman to court for custody, she damn near gotta be on crack for you to get your kids, man. It ain't as easy as y'all make it seem. Women talk about, some women, not all, some women talk about shit that they know nothing about. Oh, if you just want, you should just go get custody. It ain't that fucking easy. Stop talking.
Up. Now, then you.
But at one point, were the men solely responsible for the children? There's never been a time in history where the men were responsible for the children. And let's think logically about this. The reason why they typically have gone, I don't know about right now, but the reason why they typically have gone to the mother is simply because they were the ones who were giving the care to the child. And at no point in history has there been a time where the roles were reversed.
So
I don't think they use that. Honestly, when it come down to picking, it's another thing about the system. It's really statistically shown that with fathers, even if it's a single father and he take care of the kids, those kids come out better than the kids that's raised by strictly single mothers. It's better discipline, all those types of things.
But my thing is this: we could just talk. Let's talk about this. You wanna, you also wanna you ask the question of when were they the caregivers or the caretakers? Well, realistically,
they weren't.
Once they got divorced, that man, right? If we're going with the narrative, women weren't working at that point, right? Women were not allowed to work at that time. Okay, we're talking about the late 1800s now. We're far back now. We play a major role based on results. So, but my thing is this is where the war starts, right? The war starts when there wants to be a neglect or a downplay on the role of the man, especially when it comes to a child, right? So when we say, hey, listen, statistically, data or the history, data, whatever, the history of fathers being present in that child's life with or without the mother, the biological mother, the kid has that kid has a better probability in going further. This is just what?
I just want to know what study it is.
Here's one study. And what we know is children thrive better in a two-parent household.
Okay, but we're not talking about we're talking about the war here.
I think even
why y'all trying to move the goalposts? Y'all trying to talk about, y'all talking around other shit. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? The stats. I don't know these stats. Me personally. Don't know these stats. Never looked up these stats. Never cared to look up these stats. But I can't say he's right. I can't say he's wrong. I don't know. But to just sit here and try to combat it and you don't know yourself kind of makes no sense.
Because
I
of the
think
father.
even now, no,
Oh
we
my
can
God.
attest to that now. Like even right now, think of what's going on now. All the kids with the guns, all the young boys, they all under 18. 9 times out of 10, they don't got their dad in their life. All the dudes that come on my show, the young rappers, I never had my dad. I don't know what my dad is. I never really worried about it. Y'all out here drilling. Y'all out here telling other kids to drill. They not guided. And I watch other mothers with their kids. Y'all don't know how to say no. You don't know how to sit that ass down. Like it's a lot of things that y'all don't do that a man would do.
I don't disagree
So
with
I feel
you.
like a lot of times that's the reason why they so off the leash now.
But I
feel like we've
what I'm
seen it
just trying to-
firsthand
That's a
how
symptom and not like
right.
like that's merely in. I agree with you, and I'm not
It's
disagreeing
not the solution.
with the stat,
uh-huh.
but that's a symptom of a bigger problem because the women are raising their children alone, not because they chose to.
Right.
And some of them. Wait, hold on. Time out.
Don't even, no. We ain't about to do that. We are not about to do that. We are not about to do that. There's women out here, and we not about to sit up here and act like it ain't. There are women out here that force themselves to be single mothers. There are women out here that will push a father to a breaking point just to say that they're a single mother. So we're not about to do that. And before y'all start the nonsense of, oh, well, he should have fought. That just sound like somebody that... Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. Like, y'all sound ridiculous when y'all say shit like that. Why should we have to fight every day for something that is God-given? Why the fuck do I gotta sit up here and spend thousands of dollars on lawyers to go to court and do all of this bullshit to take care of a kid that I helped create? And I actively want to be there. Why the fuck do I have to put up with the bullshit to do something that was God-given? Like, I never understood that. Women just be sitting up here, oh, you should fight harder, you should... How much fight is a motherfucker supposed to give? Like, y'all sound ridiculous. And y'all only say that shit because y'all not the ones that gotta fucking jump through the hoops. Of, you pick up the phone, hey, I wanna come pick my kid up. But if you don't do what she asking you to do, you can't see your fucking kid. You get the courts involved, you get some sort of visitation and custody, but she break that shit too. And of course y'all gonna say, go back to court. Who the fuck wants to keep going back and forth to court? These fucking courtrooms, these fucking judges in the court system, they don't give a fuck about men at all. So stop it with the, you should fight harder and go to court. Y'all sound fucking ridiculous. But then when you push a man to his breaking point and he say, fuck it, now he the bad guy. Nah, I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. Because why the fuck should I have to fight day in and day out? And no matter what the situation is, the picture's already painted. The picture's already painted of who this man is. So fuck it. Like, y'all gotta chill with that shit, man. Talking about women ain't single mothers by choice. Some of them are.
Time the fuck out.
I was really about to get.
No,
Some of them have.
Let's
No,
not make
even that though.
let's
Not
make
even on that side.
let's not make exceptions into rules. Let us not make exceptions into rules. Yes, there's some.
Yeah, no woman.
But at the end of the day, no one is saying it. I can't imagine
choosing to struggle with a child by themselves.
So do y'all think that fathers are not in kids' life just because they out here just partying?
For no reason.
Yeah, like they just like
I just don't want to be here.
I'm
No,
out.
I don't know. I'm saying,
out.
let's just say we don't know why. But you know what we do know? That they're not there.
Yeah, the reason.
But a lot of those reasons are like governmental system reasons.
You cannot.
So
First of all,
you got a lot of people that's incarcerated. So many dudes that's fathers are incarcerated. It's real, but
I don't disagree.
so much of this is just truly a plan. So much of this is already just something that was written down, implemented, and is working. Do y'all think we're made? Was it like a choice like, oh, I want to sell this coke so I can buy these rims?
It doesn't
or
matter.
was it to provide for your family?
There's choices that a man makes.
See,
you want to hear a funny?
And I think this is a problem too. So, all right. So a lot of the women worst thing is like women, cool, y'all doing your thing and y'all winning. And I think this is what Rico was saying, whereas though now it's this thing where men are being down talked. Like we worthless. We don't hold up our peace.
I
not
don't
saying
believe
y'all
that.
feel that way, but I'm saying that's where I feel like the war coming at. Like I was watching some girl and she in her car and she was talking about women. They did a study saying that black women, Latino women are now making XYZ, and the black man makes average $38,000 a year. And she was like, and I'm about to buy these $300 Balmain slippers, and y'all out here only that you had to work 3 days to get this. So it's just like that's what's.
I can agree with that. I can't agree with that. And I've said this shit before. When men make a certain amount of money, they have the mindset of, now I can provide for my family. When certain women make a certain amount of money, they start shitting on niggas. Oh, I don't need a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a fact. That is a fucking fact. And you see it. If you ever notice women that make a certain amount of money, or women that garner a certain level of financial freedom, they will literally start shitting on all men for whatever fucking reason they want. And it always turns into shitting on them. Oh, you broke because you can't afford this. Oh, you can't pay 100% of the bills. Oh, you broke. I got more money than you. Like, if you really pay attention to certain women, there's a lot of women out here that will, once they start making a certain level of money, they will shit on all men. It ain't some men. They will shit on all men just because they feel like they can do it on their own. So he's telling the truth. He is telling 100% facts.
But here's the thing. This is what happens, right? Women try to separate from other women, right? And it's like that's the women that y'all trying to separate from is the problem. You're trying to say, oh, I don't think it's sensical. You're right. But you know how many millions of them that are out there? Do you know how many
millions or what?
Of those type of women that are out there? Do you know how many millions of those type of women are procreating? And then you're saying it's on a man to not deal with her, to try to deal with her. You know how many women that use kids as pawns? My biggest, my opinion is this. The war has been started since men ruled women. Now men have been relinquishing powers to women, right? Over the last 200 years.
Wait, relinquishing means like you're doing it.
Like you're giving it up.
Yeah,
they're giving it up.
No.
Yeah.
Relinquishing means like it has a connotation of like you're doing it
by choice.
Out of pity.
By choice, like without obligation.
They don't have to. Listen, I think women need to understand this. If men truly wanted to run this world, they would have never gave anything out. The only reason why they did give it out is because they were actually like, you know what? We're wrong. So, for us acknowledging that we're wrong, here's this. Okay, cool. Then you go ahead and say, all right, now we work. Boom. Now let's fight for votes, voting rights. Boom. So now you got this. Men have been relinquishing power for the last 200 years in America.
Listen, man, I don't know who the hell started the gender war. I don't know. And I don't really give a shit. Honestly. But I do feel both sides be on some bullshit. I do agree with that. Both sides do be on some bullshit. It be ain't shit dudes that be fighting with ain't shit women and it kind of be exploding. Or you get, a matter of fact, perfect example, you know how they say the good man always ends up with the ain't shit woman and the good woman always end up with the ain't shit man? I don't know why the fuck that is. I don't know why that even is a saying, but I do believe that's kind of that's what keeps the war kind of going almost, because you get good women that deal with ain't shit men, so now her senses are heightened. You get good men that deal with ain't shit women, now his senses is heightened, and now it just continues the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a good debate going. You feel what I'm saying? But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.